Roethlisberger auto. Nice looking card. And I'm going to send my downtown, my most favorite Joe Burrow card, my dream card I actually own. Happy to get this thing graded just so it's safe. And yeah, sending that guy. This one's like a perfect card, man. Centering's good. It's a prism black. Halo silver, however you want to call it. It's a shimmy or shine. Doing one of my other favorite card collector, T-Law. I collect him. Of course, you're going to see the top 5 rookies I'm after here, so I should say top 4. Quinn Ewers being number 5. I've got Josh Allen. And I'm also sending this Brady. I'm not expecting a 10 out of that one or anything, but just be cool to get it graded. Drew Bledsoe, my favorite quarterback growing up. Why not? Peyton Manning, another favorite player. Eddie George, this is the reason why I'm a Ohio State Buckeye fan. And I chose the select red because it represents Ohio State. And there's variations of this card, and I think that one's really neat. Marshall Falk, finest rookie. And then we're going to do Barry Sanders. This one I don't expect a 10 or anything. I think like a 6, maybe a 7, but it'd be cool to see. This one was a pretty crisp one, so hopefully get something cool out of it. Another crispy Emmitt Smith, one of his grails. And of course this one as well. And since he won the MVP and Super Bowl, I decided to do a Kenneth Walker III. He's one of my favorite running backs. I got a nice collection of him. I had doubles of this one, so I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's get that guy. And yeah, I've got Saquon Barkley, another one of my favorites. Jonathan Taylor, another one of my favorites. My absolute favorite, Ricky Williams. I don't expect a high grade, but you know, it was one of my cards I pulled back in '99, so I'm happy to have that. And then we got Adrian Peterson. It's definitely not going to be a 9 or a 10, but maybe a 9. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a 9 or not, but pretty close. And it's a little centering's off, but it's a beautiful card. It's a hard one to find. One of my first autographs I ever pulled was Ricky Williams, of course. I was super stoked to get it. It was an awesome box that I bought, and it was this guy. So I'm happy to have that. And then since he's passed away, he's the other reason why I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. An on-card auto of Terry Glenn. I have to. I mean, there's not very many autographs of him out there. And one of my favorite wide receivers, Randy Moss. Why not, you know? And then I got this out of a box that I bought back in the day. And this is a 1 of 1. Not expecting a high grade off of that because they pulled it out with a little ding there. And I don't understand back in the day, even sometimes now, you pull a card and sometimes it comes dinged, and it's the only one. This is the only one in the world, of course. It's 1 of 1. I mean, it's just too bad, but at least I have it, and it's going to get graded. So that's what I'm submitting. We'll see what the grades turn out to be. I hope for a good outcome. This has been awesome. Thank you very much. We'll see you with the reveal. Thank you, guys. Bye.
When we look at modern and ultra-modern cards, there's a common misconception that tack fresh equals gem mint. In reality, cards can suffer damage before they even leave the foil. This damage directly impacts your final grade. Today, we're looking at specific examples of deductions you might see when submitting your collection to Mint Authentication. Centering is one of the most heavily weighted factors in our grading process because it defines the card's overall eye appeal. Take a look at this example. This card shows a clear shift toward the bottom and the right, what we would classify as 70-30 centering. A shift this significant results in a 30 to 40 point deduction in the centering category. Depending on the rest of the card, a deduction like this can drop your final grade by up to 2 full points. Another hurdle we face with freshly opened packs is manufacturing damage. During production, heavy machinery and rollers can leave their mark on a card's surface. Major scuffs or scratches can result in a 90 to 100 point deduction, as they fundamentally alter the card's appearance, and also affect a clear shine on the surface. Even if the damage is on the reverse, which isn't weighted quite as heavily for eye appeal, severe roller marks or packaging indents will still significantly lower your surface score. Corners often take the brunt of the damage during shipping, stocking, or even a split-second mistake while opening the pack. Depending on the severity, corner dings or whitening like you see on these cards can trigger deductions ranging from 50 to 90 points. Because corners are a primary pillar of our grading scale, these deductions will have a major impact on the final grade you receive. The most important takeaway? A pack fresh card isn't always a 10. Take an extra minute to carefully examine your cards under a good light before you ship them out. That small investment of time ensures your experience with Mint Authentication is a great one. We hope this breakdown helps you better evaluate your collection and enhances your hobby experience.
Welcome everybody to Big Sky Entertainment. Today is my football grading card review from Mint Authentication, and I'm going to go ahead and start out with I sent out the cards that you saw in the beginning of the video. This one did get sent back. I reached out and asked what was going on with the card. There's actually nothing going on with the card. There was just some confusion, so I'll probably end up sending this back and get it done. But it is authentic. It's not in the set. I got this card from an Ohio State card shop in Ohio. I tried to buy a few Ohio State cards from there because you can get good deals there, and Ben Roethlisberger was a native of Ohio, so that's how I got this card. And it's just a base Crown Royal card with their sticker and on card auto sticker from there at the shop, and then they also put a little sticker on there. But I paid pretty decent money about it, so I was kind of worried why it got sent back, but just a misunderstanding. So this will go back to Mint Authentication and get it graded, whether it's just auto card. It looks like this Beckett here, how it says auto 10 like that. I'm not sure how they'll grade it, but that's kind of how I believe that's how they're going to do it, but we don't know. But yeah, just wanted to show that one too, since it's one of my favorite brands, Beckett. This is how they do their stuff. The presentation is pretty cool, but that's what I think the Ben Roethlisberger will probably end up coming back like. And I could be wrong, but either way, it's going to go back and then get graded, or at least authentic auto or something. So we got my return back. You guys saw the video, how many cards were there. We're going to go ahead and start with this little guy there, and start there. I'm just going to unravel it. I use two hands so that they don't fall and crack them or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and start there. Card number one there. I'm going to go ahead and start with Trevor Lawrence. I should have looked at this card before I sent it off. I paid for $160 to get a couple packs at the time I was trying to go get a T-Law card just like this one, and spent about $160 to get those packs, and I pulled this one out of it, and it graded a 7. Pretty disappointing, honestly, to consider how much I spent money on. I thought I had my money back, but there's a little bit of some surface scratches / wear right here in this area I was unaware of, and I should have looked at it closer. And it still got 7, but it's still, the surface is the reason why it dinged me. It's a beautiful card. I'm going to keep it protected. Unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence is one of my favorite players in today's football game, so it's just going to stay in the PC anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's just protected. And not to mention, I got many other cards of Trevor Lawrence and better cards too, so if I really want to send it off, I'll definitely just get some other ones sent off and hopefully a better grade. Next, I decided to send my Tom Brady rookie. I have a few of his rookies. I'm probably going to end up sending all of them back to Mint Authentication to get graded, just so they're protected, because this was one of the big cards I pulled and I couldn't believe it's serial numbered. And with this clarity and this, protection there, you can see it pretty good. It's pretty neat. Serial number out of 999. This one got a 9, which is pretty good because I didn't really expect it to grade high because of the way the paper is. It's factory, surface edges and things. As you can see, that's what got me on there, the edges. But the card's pretty awesome, compared to my other Tom Brady rookie. I still like this one a lot better, just not because of the card, because of how clarity this one over here on the left is. This is my other rookie from PSA, and I was just not a fan of the red border, and not a fan of the cloudiness. I know that's in the sleeve and stuff, they both are, but I'm planning to switch it out and get a tighter fit for these ones. But it's just a little bit dull. I mean, you can still see the card fine and all, but I don't know, I think this pops better, and I think it's neat. And I know there's some fans of PSA kind of reached out and complained about how they feel about it, but honestly, if they can fix their presentation and their clarity of slabs and stuff, I might consider them again and get rid of the 2 labels of PSA in the back. It's just stupid. Just my opinion though. But there's Tom Brady rookie. Pretty happy with that grade. This one I pulled on a Christmas one year, not last year, but a year before, and I couldn't believe I actually pulled it. And to me, it looked really good, but if you look at it closely, it's ever so slightly off-centered. So I thought this was probably a possible 10 the way it looked, and then I got a 9.5, which is pretty close. Pretty awesome. I mean, cool thing about these football cards and stuff like that, get on Mint Authentication, you can scan the card in and you can read the story of what happened and why it graded, and you can get your grade number there. It's the centering, of course, and they'll tell you where and why when you go onto their website or app, and then tell you exactly the location, what they saw. So either way, I'm still pretty stoked. This was one of my favorite cards I wanted to get when Chronicles first came out. This was like the holy grail in my eyes out of the set, unless you get the auto. Of course, the auto is the big boy, but there's no way I'll end up affording that one. So that one was cool. I'm really happy about that. Next, I sent my Adrian Peterson rookie. This is one of his hard to get rookie Topps Chrome X-Fractor cards. I decided to get it, just the fact, get it graded just because I want it protected, and I knew it wasn't going to grade a 10, just the fact that it's off-centering. I saw that right away, as you can see in the front. But it still got a 9. If it hadn't been for the mis-centering, whatever you want to call it, I would have probably got a good score on it. We got a 70 out of the center, so pretty good card. Still clean rookie. It's nice and protected, and I'm happy about that. And the X-Factor rookie of Adrian Peterson is just an awesome card. And just to compare it to my gold Willis McGahee, which is a 7, because of centering, there's not very many of these cards. There are only 101 of them, so it's really hard to find these cards. And when you do, they're just so off-centered for some dang reason. And you can pull them out of packs all day long and, hope they're the best. But you can see which one pops better. I can even switch sides with the lighting. Adrian Peterson still shows slightly clear, slightly more magnificent, honestly. Even though this PSA slab looks really nice and stuff with Willis McGahee gold in there, still awesome. This X-Fractor still pops a lot more. So there's comparisons there. I think it's pretty awesome that Adrian Peterson did that. And then next is one of my favorite running backs in today's game, and everyone knows that I collect running backs, and especially my favorite ones, and Saquon Barkley was one of them, out of Penn State, gets drafted to the Giants. I was hoping he would get drafted elsewhere, but he went to the Giants for a while. Now he's an Eagle. I guess him being from Penn State, at least he's in some kind of Pennsylvania area, so it's a good rookie card. I like it. I pulled this one out. I was trying to get his I was trying to get his base rookie Prism, but I didn't get it. This one was the only one I got. Did grade a 9.5, which is pretty good. Happy with it, considering it's now protected. It's his rookie. I did get his Prism base. It's just the regular base. It's absolutely no shimmy shine to it or anything. So next is another running back who I actually really like in today's game is Jonathan Taylor. This is the Optic Silver. I had a couple doubles of these. Thought I sent the right one, and it's okay. Either way, I'm gonna probably get all of his graded eventually too as well, especially all of his rookies and autos I have of his. And it did get a 9. And I know I have probably a couple 10s in this set because I got like a rainbow going on, so I'm okay with the 9 right for now. It's a good test and trial and error and see how this card pops, and I absolutely like it. So, and edges and centering kind of got me on it, and it's just mainly from factory, honestly, because you can get these cards out of packs and you can just see that they're not perfect. And I literally pulled this out of a pack and put it right into a sheet and put it in a folder. And you could see kind of the edges on the top there from the factory cut, I guess. You could kind of see some edges wear. So that's unfortunate, but I still like that it's a 9, and it's okay. Next is my favorite quarterback when I was growing up. This is partly the reason why I chose the New England Patriots, my football favorite team, because of Drew Bledsoe. But this is the gold tops, and I'm actually stunned that I got 10 off of it since it's been in my collection since '93. And man, it's just awesome. This is one of my goats in my world. So if it wasn't for him getting injured, we don't know if we'd ever see Tom Brady, honestly. We could have, but we might not have. Who knows? But yeah, at least he's got a ring. He's been to a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots, so I'm stoked to have this in my collection as a 10. Graded pretty well. Next, I pulled 3 Ricky Williams card. This was one of them. I was super happy and stoked because I was after his cards when they first came out, and I pulled this refractor back, and it's probably like when Topps came out as a new product. They had a whole box in Pomida, which is like Shopko, and I bought a few packs, and I ended up pulling this one. So that's the card I was after, and I just seen how lucky I got. The Leprechaun's always near sometimes and let you get his gold, and this was one of them, and I got a 9.5, which I'm okay because these are hard to find centered. Even back then, out of factory into the packs, and the coloring's still great. It's just really hard to find a perfect card of this. They probably exist, I haven't really seen, but this one almost did, but the surface is kind of what got me on there. If I probably looked at the surface a little bit more, but there's just from factory, you got little dimples there, and that's just how they grade, come out of the packs that way. Even back in '99, they weren't perfect. But I'm super stoked about that. It's not protected, and I'm definitely wanting to put more Ricky Williams in these slabs. This was one of my I bought a couple packs of Topps, and I pulled Tom Brady, not Tom Brady, my bad, Peyton Manning Topps out of there. And I pulled also Randy Moss and also Charles Woodson, but I ended up giving that Woodson to someone else. And Fred Taylor, which I still have, but this was one of them. I wanted to get graded because Topps just seems to be hard to, they're kind of expensive for some reason. When this card was like a $5 card back in the day, this one graded 9.5. And these cards keep going up in price and all that stuff. So I decided to just get this card protected. And of course the centering got me dinged on there, which is fine. The card is protected, and I pulled that out of pack. So next was another, before Ricky Williams was drafted, we didn't know who he was going to go to. And I pulled this out of a box. I didn't know who he was going to go to, but I knew who he was because he was the reason why I stayed out of trouble in the little town of Newcastle, Wyoming, man. On Saturday game days, if Texas was on, I was watching, or I just watched Ohio State Buckeyes and watched the highlights of Ricky Williams in between, so that was even better too. It kept me out of trouble. So this is the on-card auto, not a sticker, Ricky Williams, grading an 8, which is predictable because of how this type of paper is. It's just chippy, That's how I got it out of the pack, and it did grade a 10 out of auto there because he does sign pretty decent. And yeah, fantastic one to get graded. I have many more autos of his. You can see the grade there. I'm pretty stoked about that. At least it's covered and protected. Next, we'll get this little stack going here. Yeah, Ricky Williams kept me out of trouble. He was my weekends, man. I was trying to watch the highlights and watch Ohio State Buckeyes at the same time. So now that we say that, I see the top card of this little package here, and I just recently purchased his auto too, so I'm going to try to get that one graded as well. I know it won't probably grade a 10, but I want to get an autograph, and I'll show you why here in a minute. I chose this one because this is his rookie. It's a certified select edition, and it's the red parallel. I chose the red because he's out of Ohio State, of course. That's the main reason. And because of him and Terry Glenn, they were the reasons why I watched Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturdays. So you get this one graded 10, which is pretty awesome since it's a 96 card. You know, I got a nice collection of Eddie George. He's one of my favorites. He's the reason why I'm a Ohio State Buckeye fan as it is. That's the grade. Surface is mainly a reason, but all the time I've had this, it's great to have that kind of score. So pretty cool. And yeah, Eddie George is the reason why I'm a Ohio State Buckeye fan. Next, speaking of Ohio State, we got one of my favorite quarterbacks in today's game, C.J. Stroud. And Kyle, hobby collector, gave this to me for my collection. Of course, we trade off here and there, and I send him cards, he sends me cards, kind of thing. And this one means a lot to me because he reached out and said, "Hey, do you like C.J. Stroud?" We were getting to know each other at this time, and he knew I was a Buckeye fan, and he sent this to me, and I just couldn't believe it. He didn't ask for much. He just he knew I was a friend, a true fan, and he wanted to make sure I got it. So thank you, Kyle, for sending this to me. I decided to get it graded, and guess what we got? We got 10, man. So absolutely awesome. He pulled this and then sent it to me, and the reason why it got a grade is the centering slightly off, but it's almost a perfect card. So awesome, Kyle. I appreciate you and sending that to me now in my collection for my Ohio State Buckeyes. And I got this graded because I'm Ohio State and Kyle, and I wanted to see what it graded because of him. And then big shout out to Seahawks, Kenneth Walker being the Super Bowl MVP. I had doubles of this one, and this was, in my opinion, the best out of the two I had. I knew it was slightly off, just right there to the right corner. Centering slightly off. But I wanted to get a card of his graded in honor of his, Super Bowl, me being a running back fan. So I got a 9.5, which is pretty good considering. It got 100, and 80 for, the centering. Almost a perfect card. That was kind of how I felt when he got that touchdown and got called back, man. That was the ultimate, guaranteed MVP, best running back game you see in a Super Bowl. I wish he would have got that touchdown. That's how I kind of feel about this grade. It was just off a little bit, but awesome. He did great. He's one of my favorites, so I'm pretty happy with that. Before I continue on that, I wanted to compare my two CJ Strouds. And, this comparison with PSA. And even if I switch on sides so you can see, at the end of the day, even in plastic, both of them have the same type of plastic on it. Mint Authentication just pops a lot more than PSA. And if you guys saw my last video, you kind of know how I feel about everything. Still a nice card. I got a 10 with this one. I got this one through Seth at SV Vintage. I purchased this one from him, and so I'm grateful to get that in my collection. I just don't like the two logos on the back. It's just weird. But either way, just wanted to show you that. And then the last couple of reels with got my little bit left to go. Sorry, I need two hands for this so I don't drop them. Shoot, that's an awesome one. So we start off with Terry Glenn now. His cards are hard to get autographed. They're hard to find. And I have a few in my collection, thankfully. I had to send this one. He's the main reason why I'm a Ohio State Buckeye fan, man. He was like Scary Terry before Scary Terry, if you know what I mean. Absolute monster. You don't want the ball in his hands when he was in college because you wouldn't catch him. He's just a dangerous out on the field. Fun to watch. This is on card auto in person. I'm super happy that it came back. We got a 9 and a 10 auto, so I'm pretty awesome. that it's a 10 auto, so it means a lot. This card means, like, you have no idea how much this card means to me. The corners, which is, you know, being a 96, and I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted this card to be protected, and this card means the world to me because he's no longer in this earth. He's passed away, and I have his autograph, man. It means a lot. It means so much, and it brings tears to my eyes just to think about it, because he's the main reason why I'm a Ohio State fan. So him and Eddie George. And we got Josh Allen, another quarterback in today's game, from my home state, Wyoming. He's legendary there, of course. They just retired his jersey in Wyoming, so got this one out back. This was before I knew he was going to be big or anything. Got a 10. I was also searching for his base. I didn't get his base, so the edges kind of got me on that, which, you know, they're not perfect when they come out of packs, just like the beginning of this video when, you know, watching Mint Authentication's little snippet about pack fresh cards. They're true, man. You just can't get the perfect one no matter what. You can, but you can't at the same time, if that makes sense. Next, I decided to send my Barry Sanders. I knew I wasn't going to get a high grade for this, and we got an 8. Which is okay. I'm pretty happy with it, though, because it's not protected. And, you know, I'll probably end up buying another one. The corners are the reason, and I knew that was the main reason. But I'll end up getting another copy of this and a better copy, so I'll take it for now, just as long as it's covered and protected. Next is Marshall Faulk. I have a nice collection of him. I decided for some reason to send the finest because it's his rookie card, and he's one of my favorite all-time running backs in my running back collection. And I was curious if this was a 10 because it was so perfect, and it did. Came back as a 10. And yeah, I mean, almost a perfect card. The centering slightly off, kind of dinged it a little bit, but a 10 is good. I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, Marshall Faulk. Next is my other Barry Sanders. I thought it was crisp and clean. It looked pretty good, you know. I mean, there was slight wear on corners, maybe ever so slightly, but fresh out of pack. Even on the old days, it still got 9.5. Not bad. Centering got me, it looks like, so maybe, you know, slightly off somewhere. It looks nice though, but at least it's in a slab and protected. One of the all-time greats for sure for running back. Next, I got this card out of a box back when I was trying to get Alex Smith cards. This was before I knew Aaron Rodgers was going to be a thing, but I do have his rookies in this. I was going for Alex Smith at the time. I did get his, and this came in the box, and it's came out at 7.5. This is a gold like parallel. It's a little different, and it's a 1 of 1. So there's only one of these cards, and yes, came out of the pack just the way you see it, and it got me for corners for the most part and edges, because even a 1 of 1, I don't know what happened to this card before it went to the packs, but the way you see it's how I got it. I literally pulled this out of a box, put it in the sleeve, put it in the folder, and it hasn't been touched since. And decided to get it graded because I need it protected and covered and stuff. Next, Emmitt Smith, one of his Grail rookies. I thought this was crisp and clean, and I decided to send it to him and see how crisp and clean it is. Got a 9. Got a 9 for mainly corners. I thought it was pretty crisp. I don't really see much damage on there, but you can kind of see some chipping a little bit around the corners and stuff because it's just a type of paper. It's really hard to grade these cards, but 9 is good. Had to get that protected because, again, he's one of my all-time favorites in my running back collection. Next, one of my favorite wide receivers, Randy Moss. He was fun to watch on Saturdays. Just the fact he was a monster catching those balls. This one got a 10, and I did pull this in one of those packs I was talking about with the Peyton Manning. So I was pretty happy about that. And then, yeah, pretty good card. Crispy as they can be for, you know, that old. Next is my other Emmitt Smith rookie. I thought was crisp and clean too, and saying looked good. So I decided, you know, since I'm a running back guy, to send some of my really good rookies and get them graded. This one did get a 10. I'm pretty happy about that. Almost a perfect card, honestly. I mean, that's really hard to get for these older cards, so I'm happy about that. Back in my running back collection. All right, last but not least, looks like I got my downtown back and graded, and I don't know, honestly. I should have looked at it closer before I sent it off just to see, but I could tell after looking at it. You can see the centering slightly off there on the bottom, and it came back as a 9.5. And this was my absolute favorite. This card says Joe Burrow about the NFL, what he goes through. Just that's why I got this card. It is my Grail card. It's his second year. I know it's not his rookie, but this one just says everything about Joe Burrow, what he's been through, and I love this card because of it. The 9.5 is great. The surface, it looks like it dinged the most. The centering slightly off. So I don't know. I haven't really looked at this card yet because I wanted to reveal first. And you know, I don't know. I ended up getting this off of eBay from a seller, so I got a good deal, and I think he might be the one that won the deal. But I also got my dream card, so I even got the best deal out of it. So I think I might have overpaid for it, but that's what you do when you want something in your collection. Can't complain. That is great. But anyways, yeah, I mean, as you can see in comparison, these two, which one pops still? I mean, still Randy Moss. Even this side, they're both in plastic sleeves and all that stuff. I still think Randy Moss just pops. Nothing against Beckett or anything. The only thing I kind of think it's weird is that they got this like plastic border around there. I don't know what that is about. I've noticed that on some of their cards, and that's okay because I mean it protects it. And I still like their presentation, their B, the clearness. These are the two that I like to use for the main part. Mostly going to stick with Mint Authentication because I like their presentation. I trust them, and you just don't know what you're going to get with services with the other grading companies. Honestly, it's a risk. And PSA scares me the most. So I don't know what else to say other than I'm pretty happy with this grade. I'm really happy that I got Terry Glenn protected and covered in his autograph. At one point in time, he touched that card, and now he's passed away. It means a lot. And I'll be hopefully sending this Ben Roethlisberger back and getting this one finished, and hopefully I can reveal what this card will turn out into. So stay tuned to that one. But thank you guys for sticking around and checking out my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Mint Authentication, thank you guys so much. You guys have bring me such happiness, brought me so much happiness, and I'm just grateful. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for putting a big smile on my face in my collection. You got me like a kid again, wanting to go through my collection and start getting some cards graded. And such great deals going on there. So you guys should go check out their website, their app, and check out their deals. They're always trying to do something for you guys out there. So check them out. Get your cards graded, man. Don't be scared. Don't let the big guys scare you getting graded cards from another company.
I am inevitable.
At the end of the day, when we're talking about PSA, people are just doing it for the money, honestly. And there's a lot of people. There's so much people doing it that they have a high volume, so it makes it to where people trust and get their prices from. So I mean, it doesn't have to be that way, but that's how everyone's programmed right now. So you don't have to just be brainwashed to PSA. Go out there and explore a little bit. There's other good companies out there. At the end of the day, we do this because we enjoy it, and this is our one-time life to enjoy something we love. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Bye.
I am Iron Man.